Hi guys, I do not know if you have the same outlook or the same opinion, but it seems like every single day more and more people speak about, your passion and finding your goal or your dream or finding your purpose. And I started to say, it sounds very good, but is it that simple? I think that's what I started to question. More and more people getting up, they're leaving their 9 to 5s, they're starting their own businesses, which is something that is awesome. But I think you need to just take some time before you actually decide to make that leap. Or doing a career change, whatever it is your switch is. And I think it's because you have to question yourself. Is your passion your purpose? Is your purpose your passion? Are they mutually exclusive, or does one kind of lead you to the next? And if one leads you to the next, which one comes first? Is it finding your purpose, then you kind of find your passion, or is it find your passion, then you find your purpose? Like, which one is it? I think it can be very confusing, and I don't think it is as simple as it sounds. Let me just offer some advice. Like, I am no expert, I'm no guru, but this is just some advice that I'm offering you before you decide to make that switch or jump off that ledge or open that own business or go for that passion. I think the purpose is that very sweet spot where passion overlaps with profession, overlaps with vocation, overlaps with mission. And it was a great takeaway that I learned months ago from a conference while watching a particular presentation. And what resonated with me was the fact that, yeah, you can be passionate about something, but is that it? Is that all? Is that it? No, I think, simply put, what you love to do has to meet or overlap with what you're good at. So I could be passionate about singing. Question is, could I have a career in singing? Like, am I actually good at it? The answer is absolutely not. So I think after you've found out what you love to do, you need to have very serious conversations with yourself. Am I good at this? That's a lovely overlap. After you found that overlap, now you say, okay, am I so good at this that people are willing to pay for this? Because then if people are willing to pay for this and this can become a product or a service, then that's my passion, meeting my profession, meeting my vocation. That's awesome. But then I also have to ask, is there a need in the world? Like, is there a place in the world for it? Because if there's a need, which is a mission, then that's fantastic. So now you're looking at something that you love to do, something that you're good at, something that people will pay you for, and something that the world needs. And I think that where all of those areas overlap, that is your purpose. Like, that is a very sweet spot because you're almost getting the best of all worlds. You're serving yourself, you're serving what you love, you're implementing it, you're executing it because you're good at it, but it's also serving a purpose in a community, in a space, in the world, in any way, shape, or form. Some people might say, well, maybe I'm not good at it, but maybe I can get people who are good at it in making my dreams a reality. Sure, that is all in it. But I think before you go making, these decisions, just make sure that your passion is not just in a vacuum. Make sure that you have all of these other little areas kind of coming together for it to all make sense. Does that make sense? Plot twist. How about sometimes you find out that you're really good at something, and it's only after you find that out do you realize that you actually love doing this thing? Mind blown. Let me give you an example. My passion was veterinary medicine. Ever since I was 4, I was collecting all the stray animals in the world. Thank God my mother allowed me to. I was taking care of animals. I had my tweezers and I was cleaning out wounds. By the time I was 12 or 13, I was now volunteering at the Jamaica Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals. Dr. Dolittle was clearly my favorite show. Old Yeller I Balled. Clearly I loved Flipper. And of course, Benji the Hunted were like my favorite shows. And eventually I would get a government scholarship. I would go to Cuba and I would study veterinary medicine. This was my dream. Oh my God, this is all I wanted to do. I would come home. The vet board would look at me and tell me, we do not accredit students who study veterinary medicine in Cuba. And my dream would be shattered. My passion, my goal, everything that I had put all my eggs into this one basket for was basically telling me, no, You'd have to go and do more years in either Trinidad and Tobago, or you'd have to go do some years in Alabama. And I was just like, no, absolutely not. And my mother asked me, what are you going to do? And I said, Mommy, I have absolutely no idea. And then people started saying, hey, we think you'd be great at media. We think you should be on TV. We think you should be like on TV talent. I didn't even know that's what they call people, talent. And I was like, I have no idea. I don't know about that industry. I'm definitely not interested. And people said, no, we think you should. Here it is. I started to hone this skill, this ability that they said that I had naturally. And all of a sudden I realized, wow, I actually love doing this. Like, I love TV. I love hosting. I love emceeing. Like, this is amazing. I love this. People are paying me for it. And there's a need for it, for events, for functions, for programs, just about everything. There's a need for it. And so it just kind of blew my mind, because here it is, I am pursuing something that was never on my radar, was never a passion, was never even a thought. Yet still a circumstance, a door being slammed in my face, gave me this other platform that I found out I'm good at and that I absolutely love. So sometimes it isn't how everybody always makes it seem. It isn't always that you're going to find your passion and then everything is going to fall into line. Sometimes you find out what you're naturally good at, and you realize, oh wow, this is pretty cool. But you definitely have to kind of try to make sure that you get all in one place. So you have to try to make sure that you can do the thing, you love what you do, people will pay you for it, and that it's a service to others. It's something that the world needs.